Hey, good morning. This is our June 6th video, week 4. We skipped week 3, and there's a good reason for it, and I'll get into that as soon as we start this video. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, and this is, like I mentioned, our week 4 video, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we made a week 3 video but never posted it because of everything that was going on in the garden. About 2 weeks ago here in Michigan, we had like 3 or 4 days of straight rain here where I live, and with that came temperatures below 40 at night. So I think we were a couple nights, 1 or 2 nights we were at 38 degrees. One night got down as low as 34 degrees and kind of just wreaked havoc on the garden. So I'll show you exactly what took place. I don't have anything left here because I've already replanted everything, but it's a good lesson learned. We lost all of our zucchini, so we had to replant all of our zucchinis. We lost all of our, what else did we lose? We lost a lot of beans, a lot of cucumbers. We had to replant all those, so I pulled out a bunch of cucumbers and replanted them. And as you see with the beans, they are, some of them, here I'll show you guys. Look, this one got hit pretty hard, but there's still some green on there. So this all was from the frost that happened. That one's probably completely dead, but these are coming back. So they didn't completely die, but they definitely got hit really hard, and a couple ones over in that row too as well. So I planted some beans by seed down here. I forget what I planted. Some scarlets. They have these really like nice red flower on them. They're a pole bean. That's what we're trying to go for back here. But yeah, had to do a lot of work. Lost a bunch of stuff. Here you can tell right here is another one. These were the cucumbers that got hit that I didn't pull out because they still seem to blossom again. Gave them a few days. Replaced what really just kind of went to nothing, and held on to what did. Is it going to hurt the plant overall throughout the year? That remains to be seen, but I'm guessing probably a little bit. But they're coming back. The other thing that happened, you get these that edge on there that looks crispy. That's from windburn, from that cold wind. The plants just don't take to it very well. But that's why we kind of skipped the week 3 video. We were kind of just recovering, putting stuff back in the ground, and I didn't want to post any of that. But yeah, the garden's a mess today. That's one thing. It always takes us about 5 good weeks to get the garden cleaned up, to get everything weeded out to where nothing's coming back again. We're able to sustain it that way, and pretty much after that point there's no maintenance. I apologize for the wind because there's probably gonna be a lot of wind in this video, but because it comes in pretty strong over here. But anyway, what did we do that I haven't shown you guys? Oh yeah, so let me get out of the, try and get out of the shadow here. Planted some radishes, which are coming up really nicely. They're looking great. Look at that. Looking real good. I just kind of tossed them in there and mixed the soil around. Wasn't really too concerned as to how it was going to turn out, because radishes, they go in and out. I mean, I think these are like 30-day radishes, which to me is perfect. Like, it's going to be your first thing you're going to harvest, because these radishes just are done in like a month or two. Then we get some dill, which in this box, it's a good spot for it. But what's not a good spot for it, which I put over here because I was just kind of messing around with some beets. Now, I didn't expect to get this many out of this, but we'll see what happens. If I have to bust this box open after a month and transplant some of these, I will definitely do that. But we've got some regular big beets over here too as well, and that needs to be cleaned up. That whole bed needs to be cleaned up. But yeah, I think these are the Detroit dark variety, which you can get pretty much anywhere. And of course, living here in Detroit, Michigan, gotta get the Detroit beets as soon as I saw them. And then we got some bartender radishes. These have been in my house, and I started them in those little containers right there. And yeah, I've had these since about maybe April, early April. I planted these seeds at home, and they're doing really good. And I'll probably pull these out. I'll give them another month before I pull them out. I'll test a few and see how big they've gotten. But I can't remember the variety of the bartender, if those are the ones that are, excuse me, they get really long, or if they're the short stubby ones. Mixed beets right here. We put this in. Another one we started from seed. Some yellow carrots, not doing too good, but hopefully we can get them back. And some parsnips, which this was all bunched in small pots, so really gonna determine how that all comes out. I'm not sure. Oh, I said those are carrots, right? Yeah, carrots. But yeah, one of the other things we did, we lost a bunch of the peppers too, and we had to replant a bunch of our green peppers. And I'll try to show you what, maybe one of, this is one. I think this is a serrano, maybe. But yeah, it just stunted the growth, man. It's not good. Not good at all. There's red pepper. That was left in. But then we got some of the other ones that we bought that did really well. You know, they just need a little bit of water, getting a little droopy, so I'll get over here and water these this morning. But the bigger plants seem to make it, you know. They didn't suffer from a ton of impact from that frost, that quick frost that we had. But the little ones, man, it was just a pain. And we did lose some tomatoes too as well. But I'll show you guys how the lettuce is doing. Lettuce is doing great. That red romaine, I really love that. The salad bowl or the leaf lettuce, those are looking good. Didn't do any, what didn't we do? We didn't do any iceberg this year. Iceberg didn't really seem to turn out too well. But, you know, it is what it is. We try different things every year. But our rows of tomatoes here look like they're doing really good. What do we got back here in this back row? All yellow pears, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And then this row we've got a mix because I had to replant some of these because of the frost. Two azoichkas, which are those larger yellow tomatoes. And then we've got some red pear, which are, you know, akin to those yellow pear, but they have a really nice color to them. And then we've got some oxheart, 3 oxheart. So that one's a little sickly. These other 2 are doing quite well. All these are from seed. Started them a little late, but you know, I know it's a short season here, but we'll see what happens with them. The oxheart were amazing last year. I will always forever plant these. Every garden I have will have oxhearts in them. They're not super watery. They're, you know, they get in and they call them oxheart because they're shaped like a heart, right? But they're meaty and they're not super watery, but they're also like that in between tomato. Good for slicing up and putting on stuff. Not good for sauce, but you know, they're really good. What else did I do? Chadwick cherries, loved those last year. That's from the same seed packet from M.I. Gardner that we got last year. It's the only one I have this year. I lost the other 2. These 2 also say Chadwicks, but they're not. Maybe the one is. I don't know what they are actually. I thought I put because these got both hit by the frost and I had to replace them, but those 2 are going to be surprise tomatoes, which I have a couple of these in the garden this year, because typically what happens is I'll run out of space and I'll just be messing around and we'll end up having to plant some miscellaneous stuff, and I forget to label it because I'm dumb. But anyway, here we got an old German. There's going to be a large tomato. Rainbow heirloom, which are going to be multicolored tomatoes. And then, what is that? Another rainbow over there. Yeah. And then we've got our Romas back here. Got a couple Romas, about 4 or 5 of them. And then this one here, mushroom basket. I can't wait till that one comes out. Those are like really crinkly tomatoes. Kind of look like a little gourd, but they get pretty large. So we got that. We got some kale coming in, which I really strange. It's something about this soil in this garden spot, because we took this garden for the first time this year. There's a lot wrong with this soil. I don't like it. I don't like it all being over on this side, and it's affecting the growth of the plants. And I wasn't able to do the prep work that I typically do in the plot that we had over there for the past 4 years. So we've been prepping that soil every year, and we got shifted over here. So it's kind of a bummer, but you know, we're going to make the best of it. All the other tomatoes over here are doing really well. Some of these are store-bought, some of these are seed. All the red pears, the old Germans, the mushroom basket, mortgage lifter we bought, black cherries we bought one Amish paste, grew some other Amish paste from seed. What do we got here? Sun sugar. So this one looks like a really cool tomato. Never grown this before, but take a look at it. See, focus, there you go. Looks really interesting. You know, cherry tomato type thing. You know, we love those cherry tomatoes. We grow those every year. You know, they get up to be, I've had cherry tomatoes last year that were over 7 feet tall, and they were still going strong, even after the first frost that we had. But, you know, we're taking it week by week. I know it looks like a disaster area around here, which it really does. But let's go over and show you what else we got here. This is one of those things that I was talking about where we ran out of room, so we kind of just used the front of our garden this year because we didn't have the normal space that we typically have. These are all the tomatoes that were like left over. And I'll clean this out a little bit, and I know it's out kind of in the elements, not protected by the gate. So we'll see how it does. But we'll keep at it with those. A lot of San Marzanos out in the front here. Some sun rays. What else we got out here? A couple, I think. I think I put one or two different beefsteaks out here because somebody had wanted those, and I don't typically plant those. But so here's what we got. I don't know if you can see these loose rows that I got here. This is all sunflowers. These are all sunflower seeds that I planted about 2 weeks ago. And they're all ready to go. The rows aren't perfect, but I can give you a better shot of it. I think you guys can get a pretty good take as to like where the sunflowers are. There we go. I think that'll work out for you. Some of the rows aren't totally full. I'm assuming some of the birds are at fault for that, but yeah, give these suckers another 1 or 2 weeks, and they'll probably be about, I don't know, about ankle, knee high, and they'll start put some true leaves out, and we will then see which ones are the survivors and what are not going to be the survivors, because there are a lot of them here. They're not all going to make it. But yeah, that's how it goes. And what else we got going on? Oh yeah, talked to Randy the bee guy, and he should be here. Actually, the pallet was supposed to be out here today, but guaranteed to be here this week. So this will be the last video to where we don't have bees, and we kind of need them. I want them out here, so we'll get on Randy about getting them out here. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else. Oh yeah, let me show you one more thing. You know, when you're growing your tomatoes and you first start off, I'm a strong advocate for trimming up your tomato plants. I'll show you. Let's pick one here so we can take a look at it. Let's just take this one, black cherry, and get down and take a peek. A lot of shadows here though, but let's see if we can avoid that. But it's our black cherry tomato plant, and as you see, I have trimmed a large section of it off of the ground. This one is the last one I'll leave on there because it was so healthy, but anything below that gets trimmed off. Rule of thumb typically I do is I will take, as the plant grows, I'll take about, if it's 4 hand widths wide, I'll take 1 hand width off the bottom of it to prune up, and then as it gets bigger, the end result is typically I'll take about 12 inches off of the bottom of the plant, like no stems, no vines off the bottom of a tomato plant until the first 12 inches. What that does is, you know, really lets that air get up underneath there. It also helps helps the tomato avoid disease from anything that's on the ground, from when it rains and those rain droplets splash back up on those leaves, and it'll start you getting that wilt on the leaves. It helps with that as well. But overall, like that airflow you get through these plants when you thin them out, tomatoes really need that. So that's one of the reasons we do it. Other than that, I think that's good for our week 4 / week 3.5 for video. As I mentioned at the every single end of every video, I gotta do some cleanup. We'll get to it. Hopefully in the next couple videos you get to realize that, hey, this place is not always a mess, but they finally did some cleaning. I gotta get John up here and start doing stuff. Alright guys, we'll catch you later. Thank you. Bye.